Hello and welcome to day 14 of the road to teaching. I don't think I'll make it past day 21. So, I am doing work ready for tomorrow today, because yesterday was my day of relaxation. I don't feel much better for it, but I feel a little better for it. But that feeling better is just in general, not as in I feel more like I want to teach. So yesterday, because I couldn't stop thinking about it, I made a list. A stay side and a go side, why I want to teach and why I should keep going with the teacher training and why I feel like it's better for me to go. So, let me read this for you. On the stay side, we have I want to help people. Those people would be the pupils in this instance, and I can help them develop, I can help them with any questions they have, I can help them learn, obviously, and be safe, which is always important. The alternate for go, because I'm going to go 1 for 1 until one side runs out of things, is it might ruin my long-term goal. By which I mean, my long-term goal is to instruct martial arts. In order to do that, I will need a DBS background check for working with kids. If I were to get fired for any breach of teaching professionalism that endangers a pupil, I would not be able to then go on and teach children martial arts, because it'll put a permanent strike against my name. And lo and behold, life ruined. So that's a big one. That's a really big one. That's why that was at the top. Another thing to stay, though, is that it is a steady wage and a reliable job. Like, I can, if I get a teaching job, I'll probably be able to stay there until I get fired or want to leave. But it seems more likely that I would get fired by the day. Go is that it's a sedentary lifestyle. It's lots of sitting at a desk, talking, there's a bit of standing, you can do some pacing, but you don't do much else. Yes, you can commute, like I've been on a bike, or walking, or running, or whatever, but then you've got to get changed, and it adds extra time to your work, which isn't ideal. So it's a sedentary lifestyle. Another reason to stay is good pay. It's not a poorly paid profession. They get paid a good amount. I don't think enough, but they do get paid a good amount. And the reason I don't think it's enough is because of all these reasons why I think that it's not for me. I don't think that the incentives are there to make it worthwhile. And even so, I don't think that they'd be worthwhile to me because I don't like money as much as freedom. So the flip side is long work hours and no overtime. Usually if you work on a Sunday, you get time and a half, double, maybe even triple pay. For a teacher, it's just expected you work every day, regardless. Then stay, you get school holidays. Kind of. And that's the last reason to stay. Now I'll go through the rest of the reasons to go. It's high stress, because the teacher's standards, responsibilities, and that it is outside of work. There's no end to it. Those teaching standards and responsibilities are 100% of the time, whether you're at the pub, the club, a garden, a beach, whatever, you are still a teacher to any students that may be there. And you have to act like that. You can't be yourself. There's no letting loose. And so the professional facade is not something I think I could handle to do that much. I am not the sort of person who is capable of that. It's just not me. I've always struggled with any degree of formality. Like I went to university and I went to lectures in a bedsheet and nothing else. No shoes, no pajamas, bedsheet, done. Had a bag and a bedsheet. That's it. if that were to get to any of my students, fired, done. Then it's also, this course is 1 year long, which will give me more debt, and if I don't feel like I'm going to be a teacher, do I want that? No, I don't. The holidays are cut into by marking, planning, training, etc. So whilst, yes, you do get school holidays, it's diminished quite substantially. As a teacher, you end up having limited curriculum control. There's loads of really interesting stuff I would like to teach about, but if it's not available on the national curriculum, I can't do it, which is just ridiculous. This is another big one, is that you mustn't voice own opinions, which causes me a lot of anxiety, because I'm a very opinionated individual. I don't necessarily always feel the need to share them. If I'm asked, I want to, and I can't. I am not allowed, and that makes me mad. And very anxious, because if I do, fired. And finally, if I go and I change my mind, I can reapply and come back and do it another time. Which I think is real good reason to try living a life without this extra £12,000 debt, and have a year where I'm not just training again and to be a teacher, which is something I don't think I want to do now. So I don't think I could handle the extra precautions. It makes me super anxious, ruins my sleep, and is generally not a good time, and I think that I'd be much better off without it. So I'm going to be bringing that up to my mentor tomorrow. But I'm still going to do some tasks related to teaching in case I change my mind, because currently I have decided I'm going to quit, but I'm still going to give it some more time beforehand. So I have to update the lesson plans that I've put together. That one I'm going to put a proviso on and do that next weekend if I decide not to quit. Next weekend's going to be really busy if I decide not to quit, but that's fine. And update lesson plans, because that is evidence. So I don't need to do that if I'm not going to be staying. No, I do need to do that. Because they need to be in to the teacher before I teach the lesson, 48 hours before I teach the lesson, which means that I have to send them in now if I'm going to end up using them. And by now, I mean really early tomorrow. Type up the mental meeting. That one I can save up. Mentor meet. Yeah, that one I don't have to do yet. Tiny bit of Weimar prep. When is the Weimar lesson? Because I've got subject studies before then. Hang on, I'll say it in here rather than in there. It's not on Tuesday. Is it on Wednesday? No. Thursday? No. It can't be Friday. Is it Monday then? Is it tomorrow? Stewardship, voice training. Oh, yeah. It is literally first thing tomorrow. So yes, I will be doing that today. Little bit of Weimar prep. Get that done as well. Cross that one out. I'd be better off making a new list at this point. Print off a new mentor meeting sheet. So I'll need that tomorrow. Do an online tutorial, because that was something from last week's mentor meeting that I was told to do. And then prep my bag for tomorrow. And that's it. After that, today is mine! Though I am going to do as many of the NASBUT tasks as I possibly can today, because if I'm going to quit, I want to get as much out of it as I can. And I'm assuming they'll take away my access to do those once I'm not on the course anymore. So, I'm going to do all of them. And by that I mean, before I tell anyone for sure I'm quitting, I'm going to do all of them, because each one gives me a certificate. Once I've done them and download the certificates, I've got something out of this course. I've only been on it for 2 weeks so far. Next week, third week, probably final week. I'll have been on this course for nearly a month, and there's about 25 things there. I'll get 25 certificates. They're only level 1 or whatever, and they're meant to be used for evidence for the personal development portfolio or professional development portfolio or personal professional portfolio or whatever it is. There's too many portfolios. But that hurt. I don't care. I will have them then, which will be really useful if I then go ahead and do a TEFL or any other learning-based training, or teaching learning-based training. And it's just another thing that I can have to show, yes, I gave this my all. I really have so far. But it's not for me. And I really think that that's very important, to give it your all, even if it's not for you, just in case it turns out to be. That's why I'm going in tomorrow. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to be like, boom, Weimar, yes. Then I'm going to go to my mentor meeting, and I'm going to be like, yo, I'm having my doubts, but here's what they are. I feel like I should tell you because you're my mentor, and that's what I should do, but I want to keep going for now, see what I think as we go forward, and maybe I'll change my mind. Then, boom! Whatever the afternoon topic is, I don't remember, but it's in the book, so I will know on tomorrow. Yeah. I'll go ham, and then I'll come home, and then I'll be like, okay, review. Let's see how today went, how I feel going forwards. And then the same for the next day. I'll be like, boom, let's go. And I'm going to go until very least Wednesday. Because Wednesday I'm doing team teaching, and I don't want to put the pressure on my mentor to say, right, you were going to let me take the starter. I've planned the starter. It's really easy, but you weren't thinking you were going to have to do that. I was going to do that, and I don't want to make you have to do that instead, if that makes sense. But I'm hoping to hear back in an email from Jackie, the head of the Norfolk Teacher Training Centre, today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, because I'm assuming she doesn't work at weekends, but I sent her an email and I gave her a phone call yesterday, and in the phone call I told her that I would like a reply via email as soon as possible, but she didn't answer the phone. It was a voicemail because I'm assuming she doesn't answer the phone at weekends. And so I will be looking forward to reading that. I'm sure it'll be uncomfortable. It's probably a very formal type of situation. Like, we don't want you to go, but if you do want to go, here's how it goes. And hopefully she will be honest with me and say teaching isn't for everyone. So, yeah. And I've done research online and all of that, and, you know, it's relatively common for people to drop out of PGCEs and other such teacher training. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go and get started. I will probably not do an update today, unless I get a reply to that email today. So this is part 1 and part final for day 14 of The Road to Teaching. Or not to teaching, as the case may be. A very short road. But I'll catch you cats on the flip-flop.